Hello guys, this is Cesar Creates and welcome back to my channel! It's so nice to have you here today. It's time for another video and it is time to add a very special animal to our desert adventure park. And of course I am talking about the Aardvark. I love those guys so much and I am so happy that I am able to build one more habitat for them. We still didn't have them in this zoo, so it's time to finally add them to our African section of the desert adventure park. But before we'll start talking about today's habitat and what I created for those cute little guys, let's talk about some Planet Zoo news that we learned about yesterday. So yesterday Planet Zoo announced a very special live stream that will happen tomorrow from the day that I am uploading this video, obviously. So tomorrow we should get like a teaser or something, like a sneak peek of the next DLC, and this is always a very exciting time for Planet Zoo community. Everyone will be watching this live stream and, you know, looking for some clues, wanting to figure out what the next DLC will be, and probably the next day after the live stream we'll get an official announcement of the new DLC. So I cannot wait. I will of course be there, I will be in the live stream, I will be in the chat, so if you guys would like to say hello to me, you are so welcome to do so. I will be replying to all the comments and all the messages on the chat in this special live stream, so I hope to see you all there. Because of the timing of this new DLC, I mean it will be probably released by the end of the October. Many people suspect that the rumors about the nocturnal pack that are, you know, connected to those spooky Halloween season may be true, and today we are actually adding a nocturnal animal. Before the release we are adding the Aardvark, which is nocturnal. They are active during the night, so this somehow fits to this whole, you know, anticipation, to this whole rumor thing. And I hope you guys will like today's episode because Aardvarks are one of my favorite animals in the game. I love their appearance, I love how they look. To me they are really cute. They somehow look like little piggies to me, and also I love that they were added to the game and in the base game, because for me they are not so obvious zoo animals. I always love when those not too obvious animals are added to the game, because, you know, zoos around the world are not only zebras, are not only lions and giraffes and elephants. There are so many not too popular animals around the world. I mean, some people probably didn't know about the existence of the Aardvark before playing Planet Zoo, and this is so cool to me because thanks to this game we can educate ourselves a bit more to know those, you know, very interesting animals, to get them to know them better and to learn something new about them. And Aardvark is such an interesting animal and I am super happy that we have it in the game. Okay, so coming back to the habitat. I am building this habitat next to the Hyena enclosure that we've built last time, and in case you guys haven't seen that video, I will put the link down in the description and on the screen as always, so you can go and check it out. As you guys probably know by now, this zoo is inspired by my visit to the Dubai Safari Park, where the zoo is like divided into different villages. So this time around we are like recreating the African village from the zoo, but actually the Dubai Safari Park doesn't house the Aardvark. In this particular place when we are building this habitat, there's a baboon enclosure, but unfortunately we don't have baboons in the game. So I was going through the different animals and then I decided to build for an Aardvark. And actually this habitat isn't inspired by anything. This is my own creation. This is something that that I came up with, you know, by from watching different aardvark habitats online. Unfortunately, most of them are really plain. It is just a lot of dirt, some rocks, and some dried out foliage because, you know, they are diggers. They would, you know, dig out all the foliage, all the plants in their habitats. So I can understand that, but of course I didn't want to make it so plain, so I added my own twist. I wanted this habitat to be circular because this is like a common thing throughout this park. There are a lot of circular buildings and round things in general, so I did just that. I created this perfect circle using this, you know, click and copy method that I am using a lot of times. So this habitat is actually a perfect circle, and then I raised a bit the back wall of it, so it creates this really cool shape of the entire like walls and habitat. I really like this little detail, and I use the rock walls at the back of the habitat. Unfortunately, you are not able to terraform nicely like next to the path, so I had to cover those ugly bits with some concrete pieces, so it looks like a pavement, it looks like a place where the guests could walk on. Unfortunately, they are not able to walk as close to the barrier, as close to this wall that I would like them to, but still they are able to come up pretty close to the edge. You can see me now adding those logs to the edge of this habitat where the guests can actually look into the habitat. This is just a little touch of realism. I mean, it will be harder for the guests to lean into the habitat and, for example, try to touch the aardvarks, which could be dangerous, which could stress animals. So, and you have this like additional log, you are standing a bit further from the actual wall of the habitat, and it's harder to do so. So that's why you often see those in the zoos, and this is what I wanted to add here as well. And of course, I missed the part when I was adding the small planter at the like middle of the wall. I mean at the center. Just to break up the views to this habitat a bit. I mean, now you have those two viewing sections where you can look at the aardvarks. I think it made it look a bit more interesting, so when we will have some plants at the end, it will look even better. And after that, I started to work on the actual natural part of the habitat, or however you can call it. Firstly, I added the termite moat. I think it is called like this. I know that it is not usable for the aardvarks. It is only for the giant anteater, and it's a shame that they actually didn't add the aardvarks to be able to use it, because in real life they would do so. They are eating termites, so that's a bit of a pity, but I still thought that it will look cool in this habitat, even if it was meant to be fake. Sometimes zoos just do it, you know, to mimic like a natural habitat of the certain animals, and this is more for the guests, you know, to for them to think that the habitat is nicely designed and so on. Animals don't care too much about those things, but yeah, I really wanted to add it here because I thought that the color of this moat and, you know, just its purpose is perfect for this habitat. And then I went to adding tons and tons of rocks in here. Let me just tell you that I prefer to build the habitats when I have some sort of reference pictures, because then my work is sort of more, I don't know, organized. I know what I should do, like one step after the other. And when I am building something out of the top of my head, I tend to get really chaotic. I don't know, add some rocks, then I go back to the foliage, then I do rocks, then I will do something outside of the habitat, and the whole video gets a bit chaotic sometimes. Here I didn't really know what I wanted to do with those rocks. I was trying different things. I had to cut out a lot of footage, but then finally I like found out that I can like move the terrain in a bit, like lower it after adding those rocks, and it created this beautiful rock formations that I did just by accident. So I am so like happy that I did it. Because in the end, I love those rock formations. I think that they made this entire habitat look unique and nice. This is the first time I am using actually the savanna rocks in this zoo. I was using the desert rocks or regular temperate rocks all the time. So using something different that I am not used to, and you know, creating those really cool rock formations was really fun to me, especially knowing that I cannot go too crazy with the foliage in the aardvark habitat, because the aardvarks will simply destroy it. They will dig through it, and you know, all the plants will die. And that's why I am creating those tree guards from the rocks, like really solid tree guards to add to this habitat, because I still wanted to have some foliage in here. I didn't want to make it too plain, and I also wanted to add those animals some shadow because we are still on a desert. I know that the aardvarks are a bit more nocturnal animals, but still maybe they'll like to go for a stroll from time to time in the day, so they can have some shadow in here. I added some, you know, different smaller grasses here and there in this habitat, but it is definitely not as planted as I typically do. So the rock formations here are the main stars of this habitat. So yeah, I hope you guys will like it. Using those tree guards, I also created some sort of planters at the edges of the habitat, and I added those small bushes from the conservation pack. I'm not sure how they are called, but I think that they look really, really beautiful in those planters, and they help to make this habitat a bit more green without adding tons of different plants. So I really like this idea. And in the second, I will start to add tons and tons of small rocks inside of this habitat and some of the smaller grasses. I was really afraid that those small rocks will destroy the traversable area of the aardvarks and they won't be able to use this habitat, but actually their traversable area is just perfect. They are able to go around it, they are able to go inside of their burrow that I also added here, so I am very happy about that. Yeah, this habitat is just perfect for them when it comes to the size, when it comes to all the, you know, traversable places and so on, so I am really, really very happy with it. When it comes to the aardvark habitats, this is actually my second habitat that I am building for the aardvark here on the channel. We still don't have too many animals like this. I still haven't added all of the animals that we have in the game, so I am trying not to repeat myself too much. I am trying still to build for the animals that I haven't got a chance to add here on YouTube. So this is quite a unique situation, but I really wanted to include the photo of the first aardvark habitat that I ever created. This was one of my first videos here on YouTube. So here's the photo. It should appear on the screen right now, and I hope you guys can see how much I was actually able to improve in my builds. This is actually a bit crazy. This one looks so plain. I still like it. It was a cool idea to build this like small mammal house in the Elm Hill City Zoo. So the aardvarks were a part of this house and they are still there. But yeah, definitely this habitat was so plain and there are not too many details, and right now I am just adding tons and tons of different foliage, different rocks and different things, and I am really, you know, making those habitats more thought out, if there is a word like that. Yeah, I am thinking more before building. This is what I meant, and I think that you can really see that. So yeah, a little comparison for you guys to see how things have changed over almost 2 years. This is also crazy that my channel will have 2 years in like something more than a month. I think it was like 18th of November when I uploaded the first video, 2020. So it will be 2 years in month and some days, so I'll definitely let you know, guys, when we'll have our little anniversary. But yeah, a lot of things changed. I also changed. My confidence levels have risen to the sky. I am different YouTuber. I am different content creator, and I hope you guys can see that. And those pictures, because maybe I will show you some more, because I have a lot of screenshots of all my habitats. They definitely prove that. So yeah, I hope you guys like this little throwback. So yeah, after being done with the rocks and foliage, I skipped a bit of it because it would be simply too long and too boring. But after being done with that, I added some details to our habitat. I added some logs, some dead trees, some of, different branches, and also a lot of decals. I added the decals on the walls around it, and also I added decals to the rock formations and to the floor, to the ground of the habitat. I sort of forgot to click record when I was doing that, so I only showed you guys a second or two when I was finishing it, and I realized that I wasn't recording. So those decals on the floor and on the rock formations, they are meant to be like a sand that the aardvarks are digging out when they are digging through this habitat. So I think that it is a really cool detail because it looks so realistic and so good. I'm so happy that I was able to come up with this idea, because in the end, in the cinematic shots, you will see that it makes a perfect sense. So yeah, I hope you guys will like this little detail. And also, of course, when they are digging, they are sort of, making those walls a bit more dirty. So this is what I was also coming for. Then I started to create this like a raised planter in the back section of the habitat. I of course knew that I wanted to have some shelter there, but then I decided why not make it look a bit more dense, a bit more bushy, without having to add plants inside of the habitats. On this planter, the animals wouldn't be able to reach it and destroy it, so that's why I decided to make this planter. And under this planter, they will have their passage, their entrance to the shelter. And I also this time will show you how I actually I am building the shelter, and how I am creating, for example, the stalls for the animals to sleep in. So I am sort of skipping those areas recently because they take so much time, and it is actually really easy to build them. It is just tons and tons of plaster pieces and mesh pieces. So I am sure you guys are able to figure out how I do it. Of course, I am always showcasing them in the cinematics, and this time I will show you a bit of it, and then the finished shelter and the cinematic shots by the end of this video. Okay, so I am having a look at my list of the things that I wanted to tell you guys in today's video, and there are 3 more things. So let's start with this one. Guys, please, really, please stop asking me about the new DLC and the release date, what it is, when it will be released, and so on. I really don't know. I don't have any inside information. I know just as much as you do. So please, because I need to answer to all of those comments and all of those messages the same way. Sorry, I have no idea. Really, I don't know. I know that you're probably assuming that I know something from the fact that I was given an early access before, but really, we are given an early access only for a couple of days before the release of the actual DLC. We don't know anything, really anything before. So yeah, really, I appreciate that you're hyped. I appreciate that you're excited and you like to know the exact release day, but really, believe me that I don't know anything. I wish I knew, but I don't. So sorry to disappoint you. I don't know anything about that. The second thing that I wanted to tell you guys is I know that there will be some questions because there are always some questions about that. You will see me adding not only one but 3 gates inside of this habitat. There will be 2 small gates into the stalls and 1 gate outside to the outside section. And when I do that, I always have a lot of questions on how I am able to add more than 1 gate to the habitat. And the big secret is that those doors, those gates are actually not connected to the habitat barrier. Only one of them is usable by the staff. The second ones are just like included inside of the invisible barriers. They are not connected to the barriers. That's why the game doesn't really see them as one of the additional, entrances. Sometimes I like to use those gates because they look really nice and it makes my life easier. They are perfect gates into the stalls, into the habitats, into the different parts of the habitats, and I like to use them. But when I am doing that, I am just not connecting them to the fence, and I hope that it will make those things a bit more clear, because I sometimes see a lot of those comments about that. And the third and final thing that I wanted to tell you guys is a little friendly reminder that you can also follow me on other social media, and the links are down in the description of this video. You can follow me, for example, on Instagram, where I am posting the photos of our habitats. You can follow me on Twitter, and also you can join our Discord server, and also you can like the fan page on the Facebook. Okay guys, this is all that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did and are not subscribed yet to my channel, please consider to do so and click that subscribe button down below. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a big thumbs up down below, ring the bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, and of course comment down below if you enjoyed today's video and if you are as excited as I am for the news about the upcoming DLC for Planet Zoo. Thank you guys so much for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!